What are the best essential oils to use when your kids return to school? Anna, Anja, and Giulia will dive into this topic and share with us their experiences of using essential oils with kids and teenagers. Let's watch.
Hello everyone, hi! We are super happy to be here today. We're going to talk about back to school. That's the reason we're here, and I have three amazing leaders from different countries, different places in Europe, and we thought we'll come here to just have a little chat. We're all mothers. We all have children, and we've discovered we cover all different ages, so it will pretty much cover all different ages of schooling years that we can cover about. And we thought we'll come here and just have a quick chat about what oils we use with our children to support them going back to school, what oils we use ourselves, what products we use ourselves. Some people are more anxious, some are less anxious, some are happier to the kids are going back to school, some are feeling a little bit sad. So there's a mixed emotions of this time of the year, because most of us have been at home with our children for the last 6 months. I am really happy to introduce Ana Varanda, Giulia Petrolini and Anja. So let's start with establishing each one of you, who you are, where you're from, and how old and what age children you have. So let's start with Ana. She's on my top corner here, and then we'll go around.
So, hello, hi, I'm Ana Varanda. I'm from Portugal, and I'm passionate about essential oils and doTERRA. I am the mother of 2 boys. They are twin and they have 14 years old. They are very different and have a very different opinions about essential oils. For, for me, being a mother is a gift, because I lost my mother very early and I am very protective and very connected with them.
Oh, how lovely. And we know how your children are different. So I often talk with Anna about how our children react to certain things, and it's a really interesting stories always. Giulia, let me come to you. So you have a wide range of ages in your household, don't you? Do you want to share with everyone about your where you are and your situation at the moment and your children's ages?
Sure. Well, yeah, I'm from Italy. My husband is American. We have lived in the United States for many, many years. And then in the last 4 years, we've been here. So the children went through this. I have the oldest that is turning 16. She's a beautiful young woman, girl. And there is a 14-year-old girl. And there is a 12-year-old boy, a 10-year-old boy, an 8 turning 9 in November year old boy. And then there is a big gap. And we have our baby who is turning 3 next week.
Oh,
yeah.
And is that a boy or a girl? The last one, the baby.
Another boy. I've got 2 girls and 4 boys.
2 girls and 4 boys.
Yep.
I'm exhausted just to think about the household, just the food to all of those. Oh my God. So, must have been a nightmare for the last 6 months to feed them all the time. And yeah, do you want to care to share with everyone, where are you and your children?
Hi, it's so good to be here today. I'm coming from beautiful Slovenia, so you're welcome to come visit us. I'm a mother of 2 boys, 4.5 and 7 years old. And like I am, they completely love my doTERRA job, being a leader, having a lot of time to connect with them, to be with them. So this truly is a blessing.
Oh, how wonderful. So for those who don't know me, and I haven't introduced myself yet, so I thought I'll do that now. My name is Mafalda Clilio. I'm the Market Development Manager for Portugal and Spain. I live in the UK. I am Portuguese. My whole family is in Portugal, but I live in England with my children, and I have 2 teenagers. I have Sebastian, we call Seb. Seb's 18, and he's going to university for the first time this year in a week's time. And I have Tilly. However, as we all know, the situations have changed, and for the last 6 months, pretty much everybody's had their kids full-time at home. So that's been an interesting challenge for some of them. I can homeschooling, online tutoring, I'm sure some of you have had different experiences. I think it'll be really good to have a quick chat about how is it been for you all to adapt to having all of your children at home all the time and having to do stuff, you know, they still have to have some sort of education, but all online. Let's start with Anja now. We're going to go back down. Anja, how has it been for you? Because that's a challenging age to teach, right?
Yeah, actually, we just now, for a few days, we have a first grader. He just started going to school. But before now, before that, we are living on a big farm. So we're outside a lot. We have a lot to do with our animals. So I'm really grateful because this time was perfect for us to reconnect, to be together much more. But now when the school started, they are actually going to school. There is no homeschooling here for us. We use a lot of oils to support emotions, to be brave, to stay strong. And I'm so grateful for all of the oils doTERRA is offering us. Because it really is much less challenging to start a new school year when you support yourself in that kind of way.
Yeah, how lovely to be in the farm when you've got to be indoors, to have the ability to just go run around and have all that space. That's nice.
Yes, we are outside basically all day long. The kids would also sleep outside if they could. So,
oh, Anna, I think you have a quite opposite side of the story, haven't you? How has it been for you with your with your boys?
We stay at home this all time with the pandemic. It was very good because we all have together. We have oils to support them. They are very sad because her friends, but now we are start again. They back to school the next week, and they are very excited to go and back again to the normal routine.
Excellent. And did you have online classes with them? They had online lessons?
The online classes was very difficult because here in Portugal, it's not very usually to do that, and was very difficult the adaptation. But now I think it's more easy, and now we're going to change our life.
Now, Giulia, you must have a wide range of experiences in terms of 6 months of having them all home with different ages. Tell us a little bit about it. How was it for you?
Like Anja, we have a big piece of land. Actually, 2 weeks ago, I drove down to my hometown, and my youngest brother gifted me 7 hens and 1 rooster. So here I was traveling with my little babies in the box in the back, and so we have a chicken coop, and we are getting ready to expand also the animal part of our family. We also had a cat that delivered during the pandemic, 5 little kittens, and we also have a dog. So my kids do sleep sometimes on the trampoline outside. It is the growing up that Daniel and I wanted them to have. They have a lot of space outside. During the pandemic, I think the ones that were most affected were the oldest children, because it was still required of them to have, they're really good students, you know, top students of their classes, and it was stressful because they felt they could never unplug. So I totally relate to what you, Mafalda, what you were saying. And that was one of the reasons why my oldest daughter said, okay, if there is any risk that we're gonna go back to a sort of lockdown situation here in Italy, I'm just gonna start this year virtually with an American, you know, my kids were born in the United States, so with an American school. Instead, the second one is choosing to go back to school, and she's going to start high school here in Italy. But yeah, during the pandemic, was challenging emotionally. I am so grateful, literally. You know, we say this, you know, the oil support us, but I wish I could have my girls here join the call and say how important it was for them to have some of the oils that they got to know better to support their emotions.
So now we know kind of all the situations. I think it'd be really nice to know what oils and what doTERRA products did we use when we were in most need, because you've all had different needs, I'm assuming, and I think, I speak to myself, I absolutely love the fact that I had so many things on tap in terms of oils and products that I could use for any moment. So that was a bit of a savior for some things, and I'll explain to you what I've used mine later. But I think let's start with Giulia, because you've got such wide ranges. What were, was the oils that you're most grateful for having? What were the products that you were most grateful for having over the last 6 months with your kids?
So in the last, having all these children, one of the blessings, of course, there are always pros and cons in any situation in life, whether you have 1, 0, 5, 10. But one of the pros is the fostering independence. So a couple of years ago, we have decided to invest on diffusers for every room where they are. Some of them are alone, some of them share a room, and to have their corner of essential oils. So I am not the one in charge to give them exactly what they need all the time. It would not be conceivable, to be at the same time every night in 4 different rooms, making sure that they're all emotionally stable. But I've taught them some principles that help them really govern themselves, I feel. And what I see that, I observe, right? So as a mother, one of the things that I wanted to share with you, having a bigger variety, we have all the doTERRA products at home, there is, and doubles. So observing what they energetically need, because they know, even when they are 7 or 8 or 9 years old, if they have the choice, and if you teach them since they're younger, they will know. And I've noticed that, for example, the girls are women. So they went through their growth already. And I see that some of the oils that they choose are more for the heart. I see that they choose floral oils. I'm so glad that now we even have the Melissa in roll-on. Yeah. It's very precious, but they are responsible enough to use it. The younger kids, I have prepared some blends for them, and some have their own kids collection with them. And I see that the primary school children, the 8 and 10-year-old, they tend to go towards the mints and the citruses. So they really like wild orange, the simple blend. They like lemon, they like peppermint. I have one child that is extremely active, and I don't know if you guys remember, there is this peaceful child blend, and there used to be the recipe online, and he has his own personal peaceful child blend, and he actually uses it. So to give you an idea, is just they are pretty educated on what oils are for, and I see that they go instinctively towards the citruses when they need to be uplifted. Mm-hmm. And I see that they go towards especially the older kids, the older girls, towards the flowers.
So each one chooses what they feel more connected to.
Yeah, and they really like actually clary calm. They each have their own clary calm for certain times of the month, and that does influence even their performance or anything. If you're not physically okay, then it's gonna be hard to be mentally or emotionally okay.
That's great. Amazing. I love that they choose their own things. So Anna, you've got quite the opposite of the 2 boys. They're very different, and one is more open to the oils, the other ones are not so much. So how do you what oils do you use to go back to school?
They are different because the smell. They are teenagers, and they use the oils in home, but when they go to the school, they don't like to use the oils because the smell. But they put the oils on the feet. We have some routine. Now they are going to the school, and we use a lot the kids collection because they like, and the aroma are very good. They use calmer in the night when they come very excited from school or activity. They stayed very excited, and I put them calmer in the here behind the ears or on the feet at night. We use diffuser a lot when we begin the day, and our morning is very very excited because the time, and I put in diffuser all days. some mix of oils, balance, peppermint, and wild orange for we get more balanced and more energizing in the morning. Or sometimes I put adaptive. At the night, they like to use in the diffuser some for relax, some another blend. Like we have one blend, it's our secret. We put vetiver, bergamot, and juniper berry. For they sleep like a rocks, and they sleep very, very well.
That's a good tip. Vetiver, juniper berry, and
Bergamot, yes. They like a lot diffuser, and the light is relax them in the room. We have another blend we made now for they felt more stronger and go to the school. And I put some oils because I put in a roll-on. I made some blends. I put niaoli, palmarosa, frankincense, myrrh for back to the school. And now they only put on the feet in the morning and no other part of the body because they don't want anyone smell the oils.
But they put it, which is a good thing. It doesn't matter how the oils are going in. If they're going through the foot, it doesn't matter. At least they're still using them, right?
Yes.
That's a good thing. It's a good way of battling for those kids who don't feel comfortable with certain smells. They're conscious that other kids might smell the oils on them. Some kids are like that. There's a whole school thing going back, isn't it? And there's home is a different thing. Once they go out of the house, they have to be that other person in a way sometimes, don't they? Anja, you're a bit younger. How do you manage the oils with your children?
Oh gosh, we use a ton of oils. Like when parents meet me on the hallway of the kindergarten on the school, they're like, "Oh, we know you were already here because we smelled you. Like it smelled awesome, so we knew that's Anja." But yeah, like Giulia said, it's really amazing to see that the little ones' noses really know exactly what they need. Their instinct is remarkable. So usually in the mornings, I cannot imagine a morning without citrus oils in the diffuser or adaptive. We love adaptive. So we start morning with citruses and some calming and relaxing music. And then before we leave home, I bring the kids collection and I say, "Tell me, boys, which color would you like to wear today?" And they go like, Sometimes they choose only one color, and sometimes they go, I need stronger, I need brave, I need steady. So we roll the oils all over their hearts and down the spines, on the wrists. Like, I completely trust their choices. I know that they choose exactly what they need, and that's why this collection is so great, because it's safe to use. They can use them by themselves. And also, sometimes they just want to have a little bit of rose touch over their heart, because they really love this oil. This is their favorite oil, so sometimes they also use it together with stronger, and also over the heart area to keep them safe during the day. And also I like to keep a bottle of the adaptive touch near our door, so we can use it before we leave home to know, like, adaptive is such an amazing blend. It gives me a lot of confidence, and to my family, that everything will be all right, that we got this no matter what the day brings us. So adaptive in kids collection every morning, like we really, really love those oils.
So I love that. I love the fact that you give them what colour they want to wear. How nice is it for a younger child that sometimes don't necessarily understand all the different oils and what's the impact of each one. They might connect to a colour as well. That's just such a lovely way of introducing them to the smaller children, where, you know, their minds are too busy to understand every individual oil, aren't they? But we can connect them that time. I mean, in my diffuser, I have diffusers all over the house. I have one in the kitchen, I have one in the living room, and I varied from what I have. So the kitchen is basically the center of the household in my house. We're always in the kitchen. It's always where everything happens. So I tend to put some more happy oils. I put motivate, cheer, some more citric things in there, just because I want to boost the morale in general when things were going a little bit and we were bored and everybody was home and what else are they gonna do. I literally spray that all around the house. And then in the evening, they all have diffusers in their rooms as well, just like you do. So I would have this sort of serenity, balance, all these kind of different ones for the calming and adaptive, sort of more calming blends for it. So, I mean, literally these products were with us all the time, right? How lucky do we feel that there was something that we had on tap that we could say, oh, you're feeling that? Well, use that. Why don't you try this? Try that. I think that was a very good thing.
I feel that it is such a gift in a world, we send them to school and they don't really learn in school. I don't know, unless, you send them to a very, very alternative or holistic school. Yeah. But normally here in Italy, when you send them to school, they don't learn really coping mechanism to balance their emotional and mental state. What a gift. Truly, this is the most important gift doTERRA has given me and my family. The fact that we can work in different layers. When I started with doTERRA, I bought the Natural Solutions kit because I saw that there were supplements for me and supported me in my sports. And then I saw the diffuser and, there were a lot of other products for their physical stage. Like I was thinking, this is for when they fall or to support their immune system, all of the classic oils in the way that we have known them traditionally. But as we have grown into the knowledge of the oils, but I find that what we use the oils the most, and I'm so grateful for the years of preparation that we have had leading up to this global situation, is truly the mental and the emotional. And that's the gift, the big gift that we can give to our children, to be able to listen and observe themselves and recognize their needs and not blame the circumstances and feeling that they're in charge of their whole emotional and mental health since they're pretty young, 8, 9 years old, can already recognize the feelings of anger or frustration or sadness.
That's so powerful. That message is strong, and it is something that sometimes people forget. When new people come to doTERRA, they often look, like you said, for the physical side, and yeah, here we are, and all we've talked about was mostly the emotional side, right? We didn't talk about essential oils that they're going to need to go back to school, but actually, perhaps it's something we should talk about, the physical side as well. Obviously, at the beginning of the pandemic, everybody, we were all taking on guard. We take on guard all the time, but there were lots of other things we take. But we forget, because when we're here in a situation that we have for 6 months, it's the emotional side that counts. We all hold on to that emotional power, and that is so strong. It's fantastic. So now we talked about what the kids go for, what oils the kids go to. I want to know, what about you? How are you feeling with your children going back to school? Because I hear from people everywhere, there's a huge mix of emotions. Some people are chuffed that they're going back. We can have my house back and, things can go back to normal. Some people don't want to let go. Some mums are worried about the safety of their children, about the fact they're going to be mixing with lots of other children. And there's a whole mix of emotions going on here. And actually each one of us sees this return back to some kind of normality in a different format. So what I want to know is, what do you go for when at the moment? Is it a relief? Is it a joy? What oils do you use to support your emotions right now as your children are preparing themselves or they are going back to school? So I'm going to start with Anna now.
So for them, it's good to go back to the routine. Now this year they go to another school, a different school with another friend, and they are very excited too. to go and to begin a new life, and they are happy. A little bit is different because they have to use mask in the classroom, but they are happy, and I'm happy to they go back to the new routine and the new school. And
is there any special oil that you go for yourself to help you with all of this transition?
Yes, yes. I'm the oils help myself to be more confident, and to have more courage to let him go. They go.
Yes, let them go. Sometimes we have to, don't you? Anja, how are you going to cope with this new start?
You know that actually I'm quite calm with everything, because, you know, essential oils are really powerful. Like they really empower our kids, teach them mindfulness. Together we do a lot of aromatic anchoring. We anchor to gratitude, and we do anchoring affirmations. So I know they have everything they need. So frankly, I'm quite happy that they are going back to school and kindergarten. They also have diffusers in kindergarten with some calming oils. And so that's a perfect thing. But as it is for myself, I use a lot of yarrow pom. Also, I like aromatically dressing with it. So, and a lot of beautiful mist. Yarrow pom and beautiful mist works like magic for me. And of course, a lot of adaptive. But I am happy because I know they are really well prepared. And like Giulia said, it's so great that we can teach our kids to be mindful. And yeah, we really have an amazing tools in our hands. So it's all that counts.
Fantastic. And lastly, this is the last, Giulia, this is our last question. How are you feeling about all of this mixed emotions going on?
Oh man, I think this is my favorite question.
Okay.
We have so much power, so much power. I don't know if you guys see it in your team, in your business, in your family. When you are somewhat aligned, and to get me there, yes, essential oils support me, but I also need to do physical things. I need to run, I need to bike, I need to do those things that make me feel alive, okay? So it's not just sitting on a tree, smelling balanced or in tune. Lately, I've used in tune like crazy. I don't know what, I take it everywhere. I don't start the day and end the day without yarrow pom. Just like Anja, I was smiling because I love the body one, so I put it all over me.
I'm a yarrow pom fan.
I started traveling again, teaching aroma touch and having some constant, some a certain routine for me really blesses me. But I feel at peace, and it is not something that has come like this. I don't feel at peace because I watch the news. I turn them off. I actually haven't watched news in years and years. I feel at peace because of what I learned, of accepting the situation and welcoming it. And I feel that this is a way of looking at life. There will always be a reason to worry. Our grandparents always had reasons to worry. My dad was conceived during World War II. My grandmother tried to end that pregnancy because they had just bombed their house. So I'm an historian, and if we put ourselves in the context of history, we realize that in every era there have been
dramas,
terrible things happening. And I feel that worrying about the future is just sucking and draining our energies, just to take our life energy from us. It's easy to say, it's hard to do in the moment when you see that your children have plans. We had specific plans for this year. The airlines canceled our ticket to do certain things and to take certain actions. But when unexpected things happen, we always have the choice. And here there are oils like Anchor, like the yoga trio. is just much more than yoga. But each one of you, I'm sure, will have their anchoring oils and the grounding oils. But I guess what I'm sharing with you is that we are the most important people to take care of. It's like in the airplane. You got to have that mask first. You got to have that oxygen first in your life in order to give balance, inspire your children. So yeah, a big message to all the moms that freak out about all the kids. Just take time for yourself. I have learned it the hard way with myself because I was not naturally like that.
I so agree with you. That's beautifully put, because if you don't look after yourself, how can you look after your little ones, isn't it? You've got to look after your own mental health and your own sanity in a way, so you can then afford to take time and dedicate them to your children. And this is one of the reasons I asked that question, because everybody's all about, what we're going to do to the kids. And like, what about you? About your emotions? How are you feeling? I know that, next week my son goes to university for the first time in my life, in the last 18 years, I'll have no children at home. And I'll be like, what am I going to do? I think for the first few weeks, I'm going to celebrate the fact that the house is tidy and the fridge hasn't just evaporated with food consistently. All those lovely things that you obviously get. And then you kind of eventually, I know he's going to sort of come down to, okay, this is what my life is going to be now. The children, will fly in the nest. That's what I raise them for. I raise them so they can become independent, grown-up adults. I raise them so they can be, they can survive out there by themselves. I don't want them hang on my wing for the rest of their lives. That's not what we want. But at some stage, that realization comes. And when my son goes off to university, independent, living in Liverpool, which is a long way from here, I'll be like, well, I won't see you until Christmas now, and you're just going to have to fence and do your own washing, do your own cooking, and I'm sure you'll survive. You'll probably go through without pants for a while, but then you'll work it out. But that's what they do. And I think for us all, whatever the age they are, we are all mothers, and we raise our children from, we want them to be successful and to be happy and to be adults, independent, mature men. So thank you all for your contributions today. It's been absolutely incredible to hear from all of you and your experiences, to know that actually we're all in more or less the same boat, with different situations, different countries, different places in Europe, but we are actually all in the same boat. And I'm sure for all the mums out there, and all the kids are going back to school, we're probably all feeling a little bit of the same emotions that we've just shared here. I'm sure, in all the different situations. And you know what, guys? You are not alone. You are not alone, and we are so lucky that we have amazing essential oils to support us, to help us through the next few weeks, the next few months. They've helped us in the past, they're going to carry on helping us in the future. So my message to Anna and Anja and Giulia is thank you for sharing your experiences with us and for sharing your family connections with us. I'm really grateful to get to know you, all of your experience here. And to all of you guys out there that are going to hear this, good luck with your children going to school. I'm sure they'll be fine. I'm sure follow your instincts. I'm sure you all know what to do. And yeah, grab that little bottle of essential oil whenever you need, because it's there for it, isn't it? So thanks so much to all of you.
Thank you so much.
Isn't it great that we have essential oils to help us and our families? Thank you for another fantastic panel. If you want to keep learning about essential oils, check out the video with Monica Gorea, a pediatrician and a diamond leader in Romania. We will be back with our final talk of the day, introducing kids to yoga, meditation and mindfulness. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you get an alert when the stream starts.